The Jehovah's Witness leadership has changed some of their rules on dress and grooming. And the way that the average Jehovah's Witness is reacting is pretty telling. When you believe you have the truth and the truth ends up changing, you either realize that you don't have the truth or you do the mental gymnastics to make it make sense. Either way, this is going to be fun. So I just gathered a whole bunch of posts from like Reddit and Twitter that I think reflect how the Jehovah's Witnesses have processed these news, and we're gonna go through them just for funsies to see what we can learn about it. Now, I wanted to make a video. I've been wanting to make a video for like almost a week on this, but yesterday I finally sat down to make a video, and I just immediately like fucked up, and after an hour I couldn't put it together like properly. So this is going to be that, like, instead of that video. Thank you so much to everybody who's showing up right now. Thank you so much to Apostate Ministry School. I'm working on your spoiler right now. Philip Silva, make it good. I'll try to. Thank you so much to D with 5 big ones, and hello to everybody. Hello to underscore Drench, Frog Mood, Queen of Flatulence, Drench again. Hello everybody. So I'm gonna show you my screen, and we're gonna get started right now. All right. Let me just, where is it? Can I just show you? Let me see if I can just show you my entire screen. Now look, I do have a lot of a lot of like these open. So like, please don't judge. This is the work computer. Like there's the work screen. Let me just zoom in because I don't think you're gonna be able to read anything. Um uh, uh, uh. Now this is as big as I can make it, I think. And this is why I wanted to make this video, or this live stream, why I wanted to talk about it, because as soon as I saw this, and this isn't like the only place where I've seen it. This is just one of the many places where I've seen like this mental gymnastic to accept the new dress and grooming stuff. Thank you so much, Philip Silva. I love the changes. Hoping for more cognitive dissonance. That is exactly what we're gonna look into. Let me just read you what has been circulating according to Pride Potters. If I don't credit anybody, just anybody else, because I will forget. Just, I mean, I'm showing you Reddit, so none of these is mine. Like this is stuff that I found on Reddit. Okay, all right, okay? Just so I don't get canceled. So this has been circulated in the JW threads. Interesting point. This is what Jehovah's Witnesses are sharing in WhatsApp groups, in Facebook groups, all that stuff, according to like what I've been reading. Interesting point. Imagine you are an Israelite woman. All your life, you lived with the Mosaic law. Let me just grab it because the screen is like super far away. Now that Jesus died, it's no longer a requirement. All these people are meeting at the meeting, guys. All these people at the meeting without a blue ribbon on the clothes. Men are no longer circumcised. Need to imagine how you would have felt if your daughter had a baby and she doesn't go to the temple for the sacrifice. Everything you held dear for your entire life is no longer there anymore. We are living in very similar times. Brothers are wearing beards. So I know I'm cutting off. Hold on. And let me just change my Wi-Fi. I may cut off a little bit. Let me just change my Wi-Fi. Hold on. This is better. Oh man, is it working? Okay. Let's hope this works. Yes, I will. Let's hope this works. Everything you held your entire life is no longer anymore. We're living in very similar times. Brothers are wearing beards. Sisters are wearing pants/trousers. Not turning in a time requirement anymore for the majority. Less literature printed. Fewer meetings, 2, not 3. To name a few. like the first Christians. Jehovah is getting us ready for the end of the system of things. For the first Christians, it wasn't long before their world ended. It won't be long for us now either. No, it wasn't. For the first Christian, it wasn't long before their word ended. You mean that time that like one city got invaded? Jehovah knows the plan and what he's doing. Either we trust him completely and the channel he uses, or we can use a different route. I know which I'm sticking close to. Jehovah's chariot is racing ahead at speed. Hold on tight and remain focused. Not long now. That is, it's that if I don't, if this isn't cognitive dissonance, just right out on display. I don't know. I don't know what is. Thank you so much. D, love your content. Working one B in chat, thinking of making videos again, mulling the idea of my struggles with undiagnosed autism as a Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, I mean, I am very open about my struggles with ADHD as a Jehovah's Witness, and not to spoil the video of the memorial that I'm already editing, but it kind of like gave me a lot of flashbacks to like my own issues with ADHD, because just it feels like meetings are just made to trigger neurodivergent people in like more ways than one. So yeah, but please make a video on that, because that would be very interesting. Anyway, this is what Jehovah's Witnesses always try to do to justify the changes. The changes are happening because Armageddon is going to happen. The changes are happening because the end is coming. And you can see that the end is coming because because the changes are happening. You can see that the end is coming because women now wear pants/trousers at the meetings. It's just, as I mentioned in the beginning, when you have grown up believing that you know the ultimate truth, and then that truth changes, then you know you can't justify that being the truth, right? So you have to go all the way back to being like, oh no, remember when Jehovah's Witnesses were under the Mosaic law, and the meetings, people at the meetings didn't have to obey the Mosaic law and showed up without a blue ribbon on their clothes to the meetings? Like, I don't understand. Does this person think that back then were there like 3 meetings, or were there only 2 meetings? Maybe were there 4 meetings? How many meetings does this person think the Israelites and the Gentiles attended per week? It's, I don't understand, because it's not like Jehovah's Witnesses have even been consistent on that. So anyway, this is a very interesting way of trying to do like a mental gymnastic thing, to be like, no, look, everything's changing. Everything we held dear. It's just, it's, where is it? Ah, everything you held dear your entire life is no longer there anymore. I feel that kind of, I don't like, is that isn't that super telling? Like, again, as after going to the memorial, I'm like, do people even enjoy being a Jehovah's Witness anymore? Because there's nothing enjoyable about being a Jehovah's Witness. And it almost feels like people are acknowledging this. Everything you held dear your entire life is no longer there anymore. So I feel like Jehovah's Witnesses are like saying that, yeah, meetings are worse now than ever. And all of these changes are probably for the worse, but you would have probably felt that if you were a Jehovah's Witness in the transition period of the Mosaic law, and like when Jesus came and fulfilled his assignment. It's just, I don't know. It's a very interesting story, and it's a very interesting like creepy pasta. Like, hey, this is this is the mental gymnastic that fits in within our narrative. So this is how, like, this is a way that you can process this, and that you can explain it to yourself while still remaining in the religion. And let's look at the other one. Let's close this. Look at the other one. Server error. Let's hope we don't have a server error. Let me just zoom in. Now, this is about, as you remember, The changes were not only about pants, right? I think the changes about pants were actually pretty cosmetic, if anything. The actual changes were about like diminished shunning to people. So elders are actually, wondering, hey, should we do this? NEPMO elders have their meeting on the adjustments on handling serious wrongdoing in the congregation, documented as directed by the branches. So, how did it go? So, um, this guy is telling it, let me just read it. Our elder body was pretty darn chipper while reading these new adjustments. I mean, giddy. In all seriousness, though, more than anything, I felt the vibe of a sense of relief and excitement in that room. Like major burdens were lifted off their shoulders and replaced with opportunities. So let's just. Is there anything more interesting? Anyway, I'll say this, whatever the reasons are, if the governing body intentions included giving elders who aren't Palpatine types something to feel good about, they succeeded. At least that's the case with our elder body. I think there's going to be two kinds of, you either like it or you don't. I mean, those are like the only two outcomes, right? In a lot of, like a lot of elders, I feel elders either love or hate disfellowshipping. My father loved disfellowshipping. He referred to disfellowshipping as uh, the time when heads need to roll, and he was pretty giddy about it, right? He really liked disfellowshipping, but not a lot of elders are like that. A lot of elders don't like disfellowshipping and try to like. I remember, for instance, I'm blanking on his name. The Falling Tower. In his video on why he left the Jehovah's Witness, he talks about how he was an elder, and in his body of elders, you didn't get this fellowship unless like you were pretty much like begging for it, right? So I'm pretty sure like the elders that are like that would feel justified. So again, will they wake up? I feel like maybe they will wake up to be, because they're like, hey, we were forced to do all of this for so long. It's only a matter of time till they be like, till they think of something like, why was I forced to do this for so long? And then things changed. Why was this not a thing? Why was why did I think that this should be a thing, but somehow like this became a thing way afterwards? Like, does that mean that like I should be part of the governing body because I'm ahead? Like, how? I feel like again, this shows to how much you have to justify your beliefs constantly as a Jehovah's Witness. And no, it's not really it. In the last, if it is a new light, and whereas Jehovah's Witnesses may believe that this is new light, it wasn't even presented as such. Again, we're like, all of the governing body has decided on all of that stuff. They didn't even use their usual gaslighting technique, which is saying this is new light straight from Jehovah. They were saying, hey, this is from the governing body. They didn't even credit Jehovah at any point. Oh my God, the falling tower is here. I'd imagine most elders hate it and would love for it to be done away with. But there are some jerks out there that like the power. Exactly. I believe like my father would have been one of those people that would be like, I'm still going to try to disfellowship as many people as possible because it's the most fun that I've had in my life, unfortunately. The update is confusing the PMEs. The JWs are wondering stuff like how many words I'm allowed to say while reading a disfellowship person. Why should I do? I mean, I guess that should be what? What should I do if they keep talking to me after the greeting? What if they ask a question? Should I answer even after I said my greeting? Isn't it discouraging to ignore them and just walk away? Should I say goodbye to them after, or is it too much? What happens if they keep coming to many meetings after the memorial? Should I still only greet? When is the green flag to actually having a conversation with them? When the elders are starting to study with this fellowship person, then one they need to actually have a conversation with this person outside spiritual matters to understand how this person is doing. Can I greet them outside the kingdom hall too? It's again, this is how how powerful the religion is over your own life, that even when they tell you, hey, you know what, you don't have to completely shun somebody, you are allowed to say hi. People have all of these questions like, okay, but am I allowed to say bye? um how many words can I use to say hi? How many can I say hi like every time, and like can I say hi with more words afterwards, or should I say hi with the same words every time? Again, yeah, exactly. Like SAR is saying, they need permissions for everything. They need permissions for absolutely everything. And I just think it just shows you how controlling this religion is and how little agency Jehovah's Witnesses have. Result of the governing body update. Uh, uh, this is an experience of somebody, Confident Hippo 5681, who portrays to be a pomo. So I am a pomo, and was lucky enough to manage a hard fade because I moved across the country and now technically not part of any congregation. As I left my old congregation and I was going to every meeting, moved and just decided to not go again. The elders weren't sure what to do, so I just got left alone, as I was never officially announced as being part of this congregation. I had been announced as left the old one due to moving. Yeah, whatever. Like, get to the interesting part. One of my old friends texted me all excited because of the governing body update. No, hey, how are you? Just a picture of her in pants at the ministry group and her saying, look what we can wear now. If you ever come back, at least your legs won't be cold. And then encouraging me to go to the memorial and saying they're treating disfellowship ones differently, knowing this is a big topic for me as to why I left, among everything else. I decided to watch the broadcast and it was a massive trigger. But anywho, she then proceeds to bombard me with pictures from the assembly with sisters and pins. I'm not sure why she thinks this is an issue for me, because I didn't care about wearing dresses slash skirts. I guess like this is a female person at least, or a woman. When I was in it, lol, then I get bombarded by other people texting me about the governing body update. I'd say probably about 25 texts. This is how excited people are about just a little, just one change. Oh my god, thanks so much. God first, self last, for becoming a YouTube member. Multiple texts include photos of them in pants. It's a big deal for them, eh? Is this person British? Then the crème de la crème was, I mean, they have to be European, right? Was from my mother. A text saying nothing about the disfellowshipping thing, but that sisters can wear pants. She was not happy about it. Her exact words were, first beards, now sisters wearing trousers, and brothers don't have to wear ties. Next, they'll say we can wear swimsuits to the meetings. Honestly, that comment was the best one and had me rolling on the floor. Maybe this was one change to many, and hopefully the start of her waking up. My sister and I have already helped my dad to wake up, and he seems genuinely so happy. Now to work on my mom. That's so awesome. Oh, and all I'm gonna say is I've managed to make more people wake up than I ever did get baptized into the organization. So maybe this whole thing wasn't for nothing. And they just talk about like how that is good. Like it is easier to like deconvert somebody than it is to convert somebody, because the converting somebody actually makes sense, whereas converting somebody, it really doesn't make sense. Frogman is asking, Caleb, where are the stories from? Is it Reddit? Yeah, all of these stories are Reddit. Like this, the URL is right here. I'm trying to credit as many people as I can, but I keep forgetting. Exactly. Where will the madness end? Like, can we attend in a bikini? It's just, it's this is interesting because I feel like, again, some people are either gonna like it or they're not going to like it, and a lot of people, I feel more people than you think may actually not like it, because most Jehovah's Witnesses that stayed there are staying there because they believe it is the ultimate truth and all that stuff. So all of these changes to kind of like normalize it, even if it's just cosmetically, all of these efforts to normalize the religion may stumble them out of the religion because they'll be like, what the hell? Like I've been wearing a dress and thinking that I am superior to everybody because I exclusively wear dresses, and now people can wear pants. Like, the hell have I been doing this all? Like, how am I gonna feel superior again? So again, it's not, maybe those people may wake up, the people who are less humble, truthfully. Anyway, it's funny because that is literally like what the governing body says, that if you're not humble, like, you'll stumble out of the truth. Like, with yes, I mean, you have to be very, very humble and literally like humiliate yourself to follow the governing body and allow them to rule your life. There's another one that is negative. By the face of Bowie 7, no one is allowed to wear slacks in my house. That's what my dad said to my sister. After the new light, we had a family meeting. Imagine that. You see a governing body update where they're like, people can wear pants. Hey, you can talk to this fellowship people, and also women can wear pants. And they're like, women can wear pants. Women can wear pants. Family meeting, everybody. We need to talk about this. My dad well, we had a family meeting to discuss about what our family values are. My dad said no. He even said that he will never go in the ministry with a brother with beard. He even attacked a brother who came without a tie. I would love to know how that attack was. So my sister's not allowed to wear slacks, and I won't grow beard. My mom says that it's good if we wait for the governing body to announce that the updates doesn't concern Africa. Like, for real, I guess this person is from Africa. This is, oh my God. The following tower says some will leave, but I don't imagine there will be a mass exodus. No, of course not. No. Just a continuation of being unable to grow and slowly become a small group like the Bible students did. Exactly. They never think this is a mass exodus. I don't think there will ever be a mass exodus, ever. Ever whatsoever, right? That is not going to happen. I don't believe that. And this is, if there was going to be a mass exodus, this is not how it's going to start. Like, this is nothing, right? However, this is a fence shaker, right? And Jehovah's Witnesses, well, the governing body have been doing that all along. So people like are going to fall out of the fence. It's not like people who are already on the fence, they're gonna fall out of the fence. So it's not gonna be a mass exodus, but it is going to cause some people to actually, like, it is going to be that thing that will cause some people to just, it just click. Jake says, I'm high. How did he know I'm high? That's crazy. Thank you so much to A New Yo Reckon, who just became a YouTube member and who just gifted 10 XJW Caleb memberships for 10 lucky people to have a membership for the rest of the month. So which will be really cool, because today I'll be editing all of the memorial, my assistance to the memorial. And yes, I did partook. And yes, I did fuck up the part where I partook of the wine. So, don't get your hopes up. But every single YouTube supporter and patron will see it like as soon as I have it. Like, if it's today, they'll see it today, and everybody else will see it like at the earliest on Sunday. So yeah, because otherwise this thing will just never get any views, like this live stream. So yeah. Thanks so much for joining, and thanks so much for gifting 10 memberships for 10 people to be able to see that as soon as it comes out. Let's get another one. This is what they're sharing as an explanation for the changes. Again, another mental gymnastic exercise that you can do as a Jehovah's Witness to believe in it. Right? Concerning this thrilling changes, one mature Christian sister. Hold on, let me just drink a little bit of a beer, because I've been talking a lot and I talk very fast. So I feel like even though I've been talking for only 24 minutes, I've been talking the equivalent of like a couple of hours. This stream is brought to you by Carta Blanca, the cheapest Mexican beer I can find, and it is delicious. Not really. I wish. Believe me, the moment I get a sponsorship, like I will sell out. I will be telling you to download Audible like immediately. The moment somebody gives me money. Considering this thrilling changes, one mature Christian sister just mentioned something that made sense. Huh? Made sense? Let's see. She said that this is how the organization was transferring everything to online from around 2014 or so. JW.org library, broadcasting, online library, meeting, videos, online letters, etc. We all didn't understand. Some older elders even criticized the online thing only until COVID-19 came and we saw the vision of the governing body. So apparently, the digitization of the Jehovah's Witness literature wasn't because it had been like 15 years that they just could not sell books, and it was just a complete drain for the Jehovah's Witnesses, and they were like, I mean, they just do it digital because literally everybody else has done it at this point. We are going to be the last ones there, so let's do it, right? No, it wasn't that. It was because since 2014, the governing body was preparing for COVID-19. That was the vision of the governing body. Thank you so much, Elizabeth Serim, for being a new YouTube member. I love your Sparlog image. Can we put that on a t-shirt? Can I buy it on a t-shirt? I would love to like have a Sparlock t-shirt. I've asked my sister to draw a Sparlock, like a cool Sparlock for a t-shirt, because I kind of want to wear one, but she's yet to like make it. Some older elders even criticized the online thing until COVID. Okay, the sister said wearing beards. Okay, this is insane. The sister said wearing beards, slacks, and not putting on tie to meetings always now. Maybe you're training for disguise to help us scale through during the incoming Great Tribulation. This is the new thing. This is happening because that way you'll be more covert in the Great Tribulation. It's not like Jehovah's Witnesses used to like wear like suits and ties, because that was literally how everybody dressed, and then the world moved on decades ago, and then just Jehovah's Witnesses just just didn't move on, and they were like, no, you have to do it, and now they're just playing catch up like to the rest of the world because they're the only ones who are still wearing suits and ties. Like literally, they don't wear suits and ties at the Oscars anymore. But Jehovah's Witnesses were the last ones to use. No. It's because they want to prepare you for the Great Tribulation. I talk really fast, so even though I've been talking for only 24 minutes, I thought you said you were gonna say that you also talked very fast. I'm sorry. I know that I talk very fast. I listen to videos, YouTube videos, like faster than average, and I feel like now I just talk faster than average. And I've always talked like fast and loud, especially when I get excited. So I'm sorry. You can put this in like a lower speed if that helps you, because I would. Government forces may find it difficult to identify as Jehovah's Witnesses during the Great Tribulation if they are to arrest neatly shaved people and sister on skirt and blouse. Yeah, they were like, Jehovah's Witnesses are literally the only ones who are cleanly shaved and still wearing like long ass dresses. That could have been how government forces could have persecuted Jehovah's Witnesses during the Great Tribulation. So even though Jehovah is supposed to save you from the Great Tribulation, this is a governing body helping you save yourself. Think about it. Brothers will fearlessly mix up with beards and attend meetings, while sisters will easily wear slacks and beat government forces as they attend to meetings. Beat them to what? Like in what? Like in a mid-off on fashion? Like, and what? While they are waiting to identify and arrest Jehovah's Witnesses with their meeting bags, you have already passed them with just a smartphone to meetings. Why? Like nobody has used meeting bags in like what? Like I went to the memorial and people just like had like a tiny bag to like carry their iPad. That's it. And somebody just a lot of people just wore iPads, like just not wore, but like just had iPads with them. Why would the government forces be looking for like people in briefcases and suits in the future if the Jehovah's Witnesses have long like stopped doing that? Is it because like are the government forces like apostates like me that only remember like what they did like 10 years ago? Uh, Before you know, great tribulation will be over, and you enter our Baba kingdom just like that. The thing come make sense to me. Oh, I don't know what that means. However, it is important we show modesty so that in doing all of this, we can still be viewed as different from the world in modest ways. Our focus is obedience and faithfulness to Jehovah to pass through the great tribulation without being a cause for stumbling others. That is the main way that Jehovah's Witnesses have to cope with recent changes. Your focus as a Jehovah's Witness, even though that's not a thing in the Bible, your focus as a Jehovah's Witness is obedience to Jehovah and its organization. Why? Because it's obedience to Jehovah and its organization that will help you pass through the great tribulation. And if you become a stumbling for others, like you will stumble them out of the truth. You will stumble them out of the chance of passing with you. Oh, sorry. Oh my God! I hope I'm not getting sick because my partner has been sick for like a week now. Anyway, as someone replied, obedience to governing body is the key to salvation. Jehovah wants us to cross into the new world without experiencing death. Source, like I just source. Why? Why do you believe this? Why do you believe that obedience to the governing body is the key to salvation? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Exactly. They just follow Jehovah organization as opposed to ministry school says. New light, well, sort of from my mom. This is an experience from our brother slash sister slash Vester Shadow Avenger on Reddit. So my mom texted me to invite me to the fuck there. So my mom texted me to invite me to the memorial, and of course, I said no. She continued with the typical "I'm an apostate and being controlled by Satan," and to stop listening to apostate material, blah blah blah. I mentioned again the Australian Royal Commission and the widespread PETA protecting and all the changes the governing body is making because they are bleeding members. She then ends the conversation by saying that the reason the governing body changed the beer pan tide rules is to protect them from the persecution so they can tell them apart from worldly people. See, I don't think this person is from the same congregation as the person we just read, right? I don't think that. This is just the way that Jehovah's Witnesses quote. This change is also a proof of Armageddon. And then how is it a proof of Armageddon? Well, because we were the only ones still wearing ties. So we need to get protected by yourself because Jehovah is not going to protect us. I was like, what? Where did you hear that? I asked her if the people that shaved wore a tie or a skirt, would they die in persecution? No reply. I still love mom though. Exactly. Jehovah's Witnesses think that the only ones who are going to be arrested, they're just people who like work at an office and they don't really know how to dress, so they accidentally like wear a tie and they're just weird like that, and they just have to like carry like a briefcase for whatever reason, and the government is going to be like, hey, that guy's a witness, arrest him, and then the actual witnesses are just going to have like the Jehovah's Witness app wearing their slacks and their beards, and they're going to be like, oh, let's go to the meeting and pass, like be completely, like invisible. It's just how do you believe this? How I asked that, but then again, this isn't the most ridiculous belief that the Jehovah's Witnesses have had. So, I don't know, right? Let's also go through. I got this from Ron Pomo because I couldn't find this in the subreddit. But this is from Ron Pomo from Reddit. Just had the most. Let me see if I can Yes. Okay. How can I? How much can I? Oh, this is now super big and nice. I received the obligatory "Have you watched the new update from the governing body?" I was expecting it. She's a hardcore PME. We have successfully faded, took 6 years. She's kept in contact with us because my husband is an only child and we help her. She mentioned about wearing pants now, and I casually mentioned that I wouldn't probably do that unless I was wearing a tailored suit. I am a pretty formal person in life and business, so regardless, so skirts suit me. She got snippy, said, "Well, I follow the governing body, and if they say pants are what we do, then we do that, period. I will always follow what they say," which is exactly how every Jehovah's Witness has to react. If you are like, "I don't want to," you have to take a stand to follow the governing body. Literally short circuiting on the phone, her voice was shaking. I said, "So it's mandatory." I had not heard that. She said, "It's not mandatory, but she knows who serves Jehovah." So, note to everyone who still goes older, crazier pioneer sisters have found the new judgment tool that will now judge you for wearing skirts at the hall because they will deem spiritual. I guess this person is like, the English is not, like, English is not their first language. I get it. Like, English is not my first language either. So, I also don't talk good. In fact, she even mentioned her entire Pioneer car group felt the same way. If you wear a skirt now at the hall, apparently you don't trust the governing body. I think this is I think this is another way to cope. Be like, no, no, no. This is the new thing. The governing body actually wants us to wear pants for reasons. So we should wear pants right now. Make sure that we are wearing pants like right now, like this moment, because who know, like the governing body has decided. And why? Why has the governing body decided that? Well, it must be because they have a reason. So, let's see. And he also shared this, which are public, um, obviously, public stuff, um, from Instagram, from JW Inspirational, which I haven't been able to follow. Again, unfortunately, I actually I followed all of these Jehovah's Witness Instagram accounts, but then I actually was so indoctrinated that I didn't like seeing them because they reminded me that I needed to go to the meetings. So I unfollowed them. And now I wish I hadn't, because I'm like, man, I want to see them. I wish I could see them. Like I tried to follow them like in several accounts, and they haven't accepted my follow. So you just see men obviously wearing beards without a tie. Something that would have been, not a thing a year ago. Women with pants. These are nice boots as well. Like these boots also seem comfy, but like with pants, and obviously like with very very modest pants that look like they were like from like 60 years ago. This guy with a Joker suit and a beard, with his, I assume his wife, because I don't think a Jehovah's Witness is allowed to like hug a woman like that if you're not, if you're not already married to that woman. Uh, and she's wearing nice pants in United States. These are nice pants. Look at her. She's wearing like a like super like high-waisted pants, very like wide, looks really nice. And then like a nice blazer to like, be more modest, because you have to be modest, right? And then yeah, exactly. This is everybody is doing the Christian side hug. Everybody's doing the Christian side hug. And I feel honestly, even though this lady is like in all black and she kind of like looks like a banger, like with like the pink bag and stuff, I feel like she looks more of a Jehovah's Witness. Like this is, I feel like if you, this is like the AI generated image when you looked up a Jehovah's Witness woman wearing pants. Like she just looks like a Jehovah's Witness. Like nobody can tell me she's not a Jehovah's Witness, even if she's wearing pants. Because even, I mean, the pants are big. Like it almost looks like a skirt anyway. Way better to wear big pants though. And this I really found interesting. Look at how sportsy this look is. Like she's obviously wearing like nice, formal slacks and a shirt, or like a formal blouse, formal slacks, leather shoes, and a blouse. But she, like the blonde lady, she's wearing like nice cropped pants, a nice, a blouse. It looks very summery, and like these ballerina style sneakers things. Like it looks very, I don't know, like I don't think I would have ever thought of a Jehovah's Witness dressing like this casual, but I mean, it is posted in the JW Witnesses account, which is, I think, the biggest account on this. Like, look, 27,000 likes. Happy sisters, loyally serving Jehovah around the world. No, 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 Lo. Those are nurse shoes. Like, nurses wish these shoes are like, because nurse shoes are like a little bit bigger, right? And they're probably as comfortable as nurse shoes, but they're a little bit. I don't know. I feel like they're a little bit more fashionable, if I may say so myself. I am a little bit gay, just for fashion though only. And this lady with, again, cropped pants, happy sisters loyally serving Jehovah around the world. They look very, and even like the area looks very Latino. Like I wouldn't even. I'm pretty sure this is Mexico. Can we see from the garbage that they pictured? It doesn't really say. This only says glass, and I've seen this around Mexico, but I don't know if like everybody has these. So yeah, this looks very Mexican though. Like a woman in pantalones. Is there more? I think that was it. Anyway, it is it is insane to me how fast Jehovah's Witnesses, God, like adopted the changes, and I think they adopted the changes. I feel it feels like. Have you ever worked at a really, really, really boring job, and then like it's boring like every single day. It's the same every single day. But then one day, somebody brings donuts. Enough donuts for like everybody, like so many donuts for everybody. And then just the fact that you ate a couple of donuts at your workplace, like that immediately made your day. Like you cannot stop talking about it. You were like, when you see your partner at the end of the day, you're like, oh man, we got donuts at work. Like that's the one thing you talk about it, because your job is so miserable that even like a tiny sliver of like uh, fun is immediately embraced by you. I feel this is what's happening in the Jehovah's Witnesses. The Jehovah's Witnesses are so boring that the very, very, very first change, that it's somehow for the better, somehow to make them just a little bit more comfortable, just to have a little bit more freedom in what they wear. They immediately embrace it because it's just so boring. I feel that's why. This is a very good illustration. I mean, everybody has worked in offices where they're like, "Hey, we're gonna have like, casual Fridays," and even in the most boring office, people like obey the casual Friday. They dress casually because it's like the one thing that they have, the one sliver that they have in the boring office job, right? This is casual Friday, but for Jehovah's Witnesses. So that's what I feel the general feeling is inside of the religion. So much so that they are completely ignoring the main thing of the governing body update, which was the diminishing of this fellowship people. They're mostly focusing on pants. Thank you so much. Simply Lord, I see an older sister on her way to a kingdom hall every morning, always wearing skirts. Now she wears pants. My world is crumbling down. Exactly, because you're like, is that even a sister, or is that just a regular person? And then you saw a different person wearing a skirt, and you're like, is that a Jehovah's Witness? Because you're not a Jehovah's Witness. This is how worldly people react according to Jehovah's Witnesses. Let's go back to Reddit for the last few the last few updates, or the last few experiences from our Reddit brotherhood. Not really. I'm barely on Reddit by throwaway, but just a throwaway account. I think my mom is. By the way, I saved the best ones for last. So if you're just joining now, it's awesome. Like we're just reading how the Jehovah's Witnesses are reacting according to secondhand information from Reddit. So you should like it's not even that reliable. But I saved the best ones for last. When the beard up, I think my mom is waking up. When the beard update dropped, my mom was not pleased, and this is what I wanted to see. Obviously, she complained that now we look like worldly people or like false Christians. Exactly, because when you've been in a religion that literally tells you that you look different than the world, and that is what makes you special, that is what makes you unique. There are people that are going to be like, well, how am I going to feel, superior to other religions if I look like everybody else? She was disgusted at the brothers in her hall who grew out their beards. After a while, she calmed down and everything was normal. Then the pants update dropped. By the way, I'm so sorry if I haven't been keeping up with chat fully. I'm reading and I have ADHD. So if I see chat, I get distracted. So I'm trying to keep up as better as well as I can. But if I miss your comment, don't stop commenting. Don't get discouraged. Jehovah still appreciates you. She was again furious and wondering why so many changes all of the sudden. She was again disgusted at all the sisters wearing pantsuits or slacks at the meeting. She is less mad about pants and more about just the changes in general. She even told me that the governing body has no right to say we decided and change things however they please. After the update was shown at the meeting tonight, she ranted about the governing body the whole drive home. Who do they think they are? Why can't we wear pants at the hall but not at Bethel? Bethel isn't any holier than our Kingdom Hall, because that was the update. You can wear pants to the Kingdom Hall, but not at Bethel. Bethel still have to look like a Jehovah's Witness. Like it still have to abide by the most conservative Jehovah's Witness dress and grooming rules. Those dress and grooming rules still apply, but only when you go to Bethel and and do similar, more spiritual activities. We should have never had rules about what to wear in the first place. Yeah. Some people are gonna figure that out. Ultimately, she says she's unhappy in the organization and losing faith. I told her she can tell me about anything she disagrees with, and chances are I'd also disagree. I never thought she would wake up, especially not on her own, but I think it's happening. Exactly. And look, this is touching on something that I don't think even this person realizes. When you have somebody in your family that is openly against the governing body, or that have their issues with the organization, and you see something like this that makes you feel like, hey, I'm also against the governing body, then if they have somebody, if let me try to think of a way to explain it. If you are waking up, or if there's something like a shake that has a chance of waking you up, or has a chance of making you think critically, like, why am I obeying the governing body, right? You are more likely to wake up if you can talk to somebody who also has their issues with the governing body, because then you're like, wait a second, maybe this person is right. So this gives us the chance of, as apostates, to preach to them, no, to tell them why we got to where we are, while to an open ear, right? Because usually the hardest thing as an apostate that we encounter is people. It's trying to get people to give themselves permission to rationally think about the things that they're learning, to rationally think about the things that they're supposed to believe. And this for a lot is going to be that opportunity that are like, wait a second, do I believe in this? Am I still okay? These changes are happening. How do I feel about these changes? Do I like them? And If the person says no, then they may approach you and be like, even to be like, hey, have you seen the recent governing body update? Just because they kind of like, they may even want to talk about it, but they don't want to like be overtly apostate. So when you are getting like all of these messages from other people being like, hey, like I got this, don't think, hey, they're trying to convert me again. Maybe they're truly asking you what you feel. Maybe they're truly asking you, hey, what do you think of this? Because I don't know what to think, and I may, I may believe what you say now. I may think that you have a right, the right, or at least I may think that you may have something to say of value, whereas before I didn't. So please, when as apostates and as people who get like shunned and all of that stuff, we're gonna get like a lot of these messages. So give them the benefit of the doubt and just try to be like, this is what I think. If they're asking you what you think, take that chance to tell them what you think in a tactful way, of course. But they're asking already. You seldom have that chance. We seldom have that chance to just explain to Jehovah's Witnesses what we believe as apostles and why we left. So if somebody's asking you what you thought about the recent governing body update, do that, because you never know when this is going to happen, right? I don't think that the mom of this person would have woken up if this person hadn't woken up. I think the fact that this person's like mom knew that their kid was waking up was also like, hey, I am going to take this, I am going to listen to this a little bit more critically, because I want to make sure that my kid is wrong, right? So anyway, just a little advice, because I know that a lot of you, and I've gotten a lot of comments like, oh, I can't believe that a lot of people are texting me and asking me what I think, and I just want to be left alone. If you want to be left alone, of course, like nobody's gonna force you to do anything. If you want to be left alone, there's your prerogative. But if someone is asking you what you think about it, and if you can explain it in a rational, tactful way, do it. Do it. XGW Panda Tower says, when is the next patch for the religion gonna drop? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be the last one of the changes, or if this is just, if they're just halfway through the list. I honestly don't know. I asked myself the same question when they said that beards were okay, and I remember saying, maybe this is it. Maybe this was the last of the changes, and maybe now this is it. Maybe this is the last of the changes. But now I don't know. I'm now 50-50. Whereas before I was like, there's an 80% chance that these are all of the changes that are going to happen. Now I'm like 50-50. Now I'm like, maybe we're halfway through. I had a really interesting conversation with my PIMQ elder grandfather. We just have like a few more to read, and we're gonna bounce. We're not gonna do a long live stream today. Today, I visited my grandparents for the first time after the new announcement. My grandfather, who has always been quite the realist, but also a devoted believer in a higher entity rather than the Borg, really wanted to speak to me about the new updates. He himself became a reluctant elder in 2012 and took over the Watchtower study program. He spent holidays and free time he would have with his wife and family in the Kingdom Hall, which goes back on a sense of duty only really conceivable as a former citizen of GDR. The German Democratic Republic. Oh, I'm such an idiot. I swear to God. See, I'm not Jehovah's Witness. I never had education. He even had to shave his beloved beard under the pretext to be able to hold tax, because many congregations in our area did not allow him to hold one with his well-trimmed and very much good-looking facial hair. Days long gone. Since his wife's and his own health worsened through COVID, they used Zoom to stay in contact with our congregation. Only my family as relatives live around the corner and were able to see them in person. By now, they are only bystanders to the entire scheming in this landslide JW weekly tea. This really led my grandfather to begin questioning the authority of man. And since the new changes, he actually is cool with openly talking about a possible goal system the governing body hasn't stated. He sees the changes and that they align with his unorthodox views on the Bible. After constant letdowns and mistreatments by fellow elders, he unofficially resigned from his post in 2023, but still keeps up with the new gossip. He is shocked every time about the extent the loving brothers go to when it comes to their privileges. The spiritual food seems to overwhelm him in a positive way, I think. He now sees apostates as a credible source and takes a look at them, though only visibly when I am around. He's aware that I am a Pimo, and he refrains from applying even the slightest bit of pressure on me. I am pretty sure by now he just does not give up due to his age. Still, I am very excited about Watchtower's influence on my grandfather and his continuing journey. Again, another person who was on the fence, who seems to be leaving because of this fence shaking that is happening in the congregation, right? I think, and this was obviously like my favorite one, which is why I saved almost for last. I think I'm fully awake now. I haven't been active on this sub for a while. Don't really use Reddit that much. But the recent changes have really opened my eyes, and I guess I'm fully Pimo now. It just made me question seeing some jumping with joy, sorry, and others heartbroken because they don't agree with any of the recent changes. I think I'm going to have a little chat with my mom in a couple of months' time and see how she's feeling about everything. My mom is Pimi, but unlike other Pimis, she's willing to listen and understand even if she doesn't agree. My mom was over the moon about sisters being able to wear pants to the meeting, but then I told her about the disfellowship once. She just sat there in silence. My mom has always thought shunning was wrong, and it made her question why the governing body kinda wanna put an end to shunning. Most people in McKinnon Hall are extremely upset about the changes. One of the sisters walked out of the ministry when it got announced. The Kingdom Hall feels very divided at the moment. You can't even have a conversation with anyone without at least one of them bringing up the whole pen situation. What's your thoughts on it? How do you feel about it? Do you even agree with the changes? The conversation will always end up going along those lines. This is what's happening inside congregations. In congregations, now it's a topic of conversation. Do you like the changes? How do you feel about the changes? And I think that is the most positive part of these changes, that it's opening the doors for Jehovah's Witnesses to actually like openly question, hey, what do you think about this? Uh, the governing body said that. And so, what do you think about this? And not every Jehovah's Witness is going to have their mental gymnastics ready. Most of it, if I'm being honest, most of it will. Most of it will. Again, this isn't going to cause a mass exodus, but some don't. And that's why I wanted to talk about this, because again, as I've been explaining, this gives us a very good chance to wake up Jehovah's Witnesses who are over there, who are beginning to like give themselves the license to question it. Now, was this also about no, this is okay. Now, this is very recent. This just came out today, and this is talking about, because the ones were immediately after the governing body update. However, in the Kingdom Halls, after the governing body updates, some, or dare I say, several Kingdom Halls, from what I've been reading, have been using their local needs section of monthly section of their meetings, when they are supposed to talk about, whatever the congregation needs, the local congregation needs at the moment, and they are using it to tell people, well, let's see, I'm going to break down the local needs I have listened to from my congregation. But first, I will write a quick summary. Over the last month and a half, my congregation has had two local needs that have not been directed towards anyone specifically, but directed towards the congregation in general. Yeah, I forgot about this. Sometimes when there is like a sinner in the congregation and people know about that, you'll have like a local needs just to be like, hey, this is a sin that we can disfellowship people for, but we're gonna humiliate this person without saying their name, just by saying that the sin is really bad. The reason why I feel weird about these talks is because typically, if there's a problem, the elders try to talk to individuals. So this makes me wonder if these talks are coming from a higher up, and or the problem is too widespread. The local needs were one, a very pointed talk about getting over yourself and attending meetings in person, and two, a very skillfully persuasive. I don't think Jehovah's Witnesses are known for that. Are you sure? Throw away 68365636246 4. Are you sure that is it was skillfully persuasive? About not living in the moment and fulfilling our assignments. The first talk was what's pretty much our circuit overseer. That is Kobe, right? Circuit? No, that is the elder that is in charge of the whole congregation, right? Saying COVID happened, get over yourself. Literally said that from stage. And then he kept asking the question, do your circumstances actually call for you to be on Zoom? Or is it a matter of convenience? You're not allowed to do things out of convenience if you're a Jehovah's Witness. The time has come to get over this isolation. The governing body made it very clear for us to attend in-person meetings, and they don't just make arbitrary rules. Okay, that's hilarious. We're paying attention for brothers reaching out, but are they not here for assignments? Is because they had a bad at work? I guess. Is it because they had a bad day at work? I guess that's what they were they meant. But are they really not being here when they can? Here's the thing: you can make it to in-person meetings, but you aren't because of convenience. And if that's the case, are you making the right decision? The talk worked for like a month leading up to our circuit overseer's visit. We typically had like 2/3 of our congregation on Zoom, like 60 to 80 people. When our circuit overseer was visiting, we only had 20 on Zoom. It was the first time post COVID that I've seen our hall packed like it used to be. The week after our circuit overseer, it was back to normal. 2 weeks after our circuit overseer visit is when this local needs took place. Local needs number two. Are you guarding against living in the moment? Jehovah is giving us a great privilege of progressively moving forward with this privilege. Okay. Jehovah is ever moving forward in what he does. Isaiah 10:46. He foretells what the outcome is. He does not get caught up in what is happening presently. Jehovah already had in mind who would free his people. He wasn't caught up in the moment. He was progressive. Jesus didn't live in the moment. Jesus was involved in the outworkings of God's purpose. We need to be balanced in our approach of being like Jesus and Jehovah. Jesus refused sour wine so he could stay in the moment and fulfill his death. The sour wine would have dulled his senses on the stake. That's not what the Bible says. What does living in the moment mean? Paying attention to present experiences and getting overwhelmed with current circumstances, which can distract us from a service to Jehovah. Why? Local application. Elders have notices that brothers aren't taking care of their assignments/privileges. There are times when there is not an emergency, but when things can be helped. Why is an assignment not being taken care of? Are we at that time living in the moment? Our assignment is for much more than the meeting. We need to approach it as if it's helping to bring people into the truth. The celestial chariot is on the move constantly, but we need to keep up with it. How has that been manifested recently? Uh, why is this so slow? Jesus. FDS shows that in the adjustment in how we carry out in ministry, Jehovah doesn't want us to live in the moment. Stories. Where is the source? We need to see the connection between this and what we have the privilege of doing. Keep our responsibility relevant to the history. We need to see the past, the moment of the assignment. We endeavor to fulfill it, make the connection between our assignment and what's going on around the world. Anyway, I'm not gonna read whatever. Like basically, this is saying, hey, you guys are not showing up to the meetings. The hell. What the hell? Why are you not showing up to the meetings? Sometimes the speeches that we've said constantly, sometimes they're not even given. Is it because people are living in the moment and not living to survive Armageddon? Is it? That's the wrong way of doing it. And this is the another person by another account of the same thing by a deleted account. Interesting, suspicious. Local needs, citing Jehovah's New Light. Local needs this week in my PIMOS friend congregation were about accepting the new changes from the governing body. Elders spoke about the importance of accepting Jehovah's New Light and not questioning anything. He was told not to seek further information on the internet and only in Watchtower publications. The PIMO said that this congregation didn't take the changes well, as women are not comfortable with slacks, and some people didn't greet the disfellowship. Oh, the horror. He said an elder openly told other brothers that he didn't quite understand the change from the governing body. Anyway, that's how we're gonna close this segment. I think this is giving us a very good. We're gonna move to a quick little segment before we finish. So don't leave yet. It's gonna be faster. I just wanted to show this because again, this is showing us how the Jehovah's Witnesses are reacting, and I think it's important to keep like a gauge on how they're reacting, what they're doing, how they're perceiving the governing body, because at the end of the day, this is how people wake up. So this can help you wake up people. Pretty much everybody here, or almost everybody here, have somebody who they like to wake up, or who they would like to wake up, right? An ideal word. And I think this is, again, it's fence shaking. Maybe that person is in the fence, and if it's in the fence, then you can just take him out of the truth. Just just steal him away, like the apostates we are. That is, I'm not gonna close with prayer. Choosy Man 2000. I'm not gonna close in prayer. However, I am going to close with just a quick little note and a little update on Norway, because the Jehovah's Witnesses have finally talked about what happened in Norway. And I know that there is going to be, like, I can just see a whole bunch of like clickbaity like titles and stuff being like, oh, Jehovah's Witnesses are doing whatever and they're not giving up. Let's just check what the Jehovah's Witnesses posted here, and let's see why none of this is neither unexpected nor, even worth talking about. This is what the Jehovah's Witnesses posted. Oh man, is this their photo? Because that's kind of, I hadn't seen it. I thought I saw all of their photos, so I'm pretty sure this is their photo, because I'm pretty sure I saw all of the photos from Varla. Jehovah's Witnesses, just to recap, before we read all of this, the Jehovah's Witnesses got removed got their religious status removed in Norway due to their insistence on disfellowshipping children. The fact that the Jehovah's Witnesses can disfellowship children is against the children's human rights, and therefore makes them ineligible for receiving grants for a religious organization. Jehovah's Witnesses sued the government to try to get those back, and I recapped the whole trial in a video that I posted here on the channel. It's a long trial, and they basically they lost. They lost, and it was not a surprise. Everybody knew that they were gonna lose. If you watch even like a little bit of the video that I made, or just just read a little bit on what their strategy was and all of that stuff, you quickly realize they were always going to lose, right? So they lost their own lawsuit against the government, right? The lawsuit that they started against the government. On March 4th, 2024, the Oslo District Court upheld the Norwegian government decision to revoke the legal registration of Jehovah's Witnesses in Norway, which meant their lawsuit failed. Jehovah's Witnesses in Norway will appeal the decision. The county governor of Oslo and Viken revoked our registration at the end of 2022. The Oslo District Court temporarily suspended this action on December 30th, 2022, pending further investigation. Now, this was just a very temporary suspension that was never never going to hold. It was it was for nothing. It was just so Jehovah's Witnesses could say, "Oh, we temporarily suspended it," but it lasted almost no time. It didn't make like any difference when the investigation. Nothing, right? It didn't make any difference. The position of the Senate of the state now remains that it will continue to deny recognition to the Jehovah's Witnesses in the country of Norway unless we change our practices regarding the removal of unrepentant wrongdoers from the congregation. This is false. This is false. As I explained, they lost the registration in Norway because they shun children. Concretely, they shun people below the age of 15. And they had, they proved that they shun people under the age of 15 with their own publications. That is why they are unregistered in Norway. And it is telling that they're not saying this. And I think it's only because they've actually like revisited the shunning of children. Not enough to be accepted by Norway, nonetheless, but they've still revisited very recently. But what they say here, that they did that unless we change our practice regarding the removal of unrepentant wrongdoings from the congregation. This is wrong. This is just a huge generalization, and it is if anything, this is where Norway like went too easy on them. They're like, look, you can shun people, just don't shun children. And even then, they're like, fine, you can shun children, just don't ask for like our monetary support when you're shunning children. That was it. That was everything that Norway did, right? The decision to deregister Jehovah's Witnesses denies us the financial aid and other benefits that the government provides to over 700 registered religious communities in the country. That's right, because they're the only ones. They're the only ones who insist on doing this. Additional consequences include losing the right to appoint and authorize ministers of Jehovah's Witnesses as officiants for weddings. Cry me a river. Cry me a river. They're like, it's just, we're not going to get, this is going to destroy our religion. We're not going to get free money. We're not going to be able to marry people inside the kingdom hall. It's almost like they want to kill us. While we await the outcome of the appeal, we will continue to pray concerning kings and all those who are in high positions so that we may go on leading a calm and quiet life. We complete all the blah, blah, blah. So this is, I know that especially if somebody like doesn't know anything about Norway, they're going to be like, oh, Jehovah's Witnesses are doing this. They're saying that they're not going to give up and they're going to continue this. This was expected. And it was not only expected, but predicted by one of the main people who started this Norway thing, Jan Ford Nielsen. He posted on Reddit over 1 year ago the summary of the thing that Norway was of the process of losing the registration of the Jehovah's Witnesses, right? Just the process. It started with like Norway funds all religions, but there are terms that need to be met. And then he recounts what happened in 2021. He recounts what happened in 2022. And then he predicted over here, next level of courts. Remember, this is from over a year ago, right? This is from over a year ago. Next level of courts. We're now in 2024. And this will appear in Lagmannsretten. After the decision is made, you can read number 12 again, which means that the conclusion of the decision will be appealed. We knew we are halfway. Like, look, we are halfway in this list. We always knew that the Jehovah's Witnesses were going to appeal because they are the only thing that they can do. So I already saw like even like a lot of like tweets being like, oh, Jehovah's Witnesses are still trying to do and they're not changing anything. They're not doing anything that we didn't know that they were going to do from like well over a year ago. This is a normal thing, right? Obviously, it's infuriating that the Jehovah's Witnesses are just using this twist to talk about it. But, it's unfortunately what happened. Now, thanks so much for joining. Soon, I will be talking about speaking about Norway, I will be talking about this. This is an article published by Massimo Introvigni, infamous Jehovah's Witness apologist and overall bad guy. Lying and giving like this apologetic about why this decision about the Jehovah's Witness in Norway, why the Oslo District Court decision was wrong, how it attempts against like the religious freedoms of like shun your own children, I guess. I don't know. But obviously, that's going to be for another time because I am tired of speaking for so long. Usually, I have like a video to react, and then I can smoke and like drink beer or something. But I couldn't now. So I don't know. Let me know if you want to if you wanted me to like go through it in a live stream and maybe go through it like all of us together because I probably will miss some stuff. Or if you want me to make a video about it and just go through all of this stuff, it's not particularly important. But he's nobody, right? Like Massimo Introvigne is like it's nothing. Like he's nothing. There's far more people being woken up by the beard update and the pants update than being kept in the religion by Massimo Introvigne. So this is nothing, but I think it's still worth a rebuttal. So let me know. Would you like a rebuttal live? Would you like a rebuttal in a video? How do you feel more comfortable? And thank you so much to everybody who joined. God first, self last says I would love that going through it in a live stream would be cool. Yeah, I think I may just do a live stream just because it's easier to put together. I do get kind of nervous, so I may just invite somebody. So if you have somebody that you think would be cool to like maybe come with me and we can examine this together. Yeah, people are saying doing it live. Yeah, I think I may do it live. So if you have a suggestion, tell me who I should do it live with, because I would love to just talk about it with somebody else. But that is everything for now. That is how Jehovah's Witnesses are dealing with these changes. How you can use it to wake up people. And I don't know. Like, listen, can we just listen? I haven't smoked. I feel like I need to smoke, right? Because it's just it, right? It's just my thing, right? We just oh man, oh man, I needed that. Do I still have beer?